Hello, and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Porsche Paradise. Today we are at Auto Farm because today I am checking in with my GT3 RS because there's been extensive work going on with the dampers. Some of you will remember this episode a little while ago, some months ago now, whereby I was taking out the KW dampers that were in there that would replace the stock dampers, but for my use case on the car, the KW dampers weren't what I needed or what I wanted, and they didn't work with the OEM button inside the car. So we're going to get into that. We're going to head inside because my car's up on the ramp and the new shocks are now fitted, and there's been months of looking into what the best options are, and we finally arrived at a set that suits my needs. I'm really excited to be getting these on the car. Okay, so in we come. There's always a treasure trove here. It's always unbelievable. There's loads of bits of kit to look around. We're not going to nose on about that because we usually do in these videos. I think that's actually come from Pendine, where I bought my XJ220. But my GT3 RS is here. It's back on the channel. I love this car, and I always get asked, if you had to sell everything and just keep one car, regardless of values, which one would it be? And it's actually this one. I know that probably is surprising to some of you. It wouldn't be the Carrera GT, it would actually be this. I love this car. It is unbelievable, and I just don't think Porsche are going to ever make anything like this again. So you'll notice that it's missing wheels. You do not have to be even remotely observant to have spotted that one. It's missing wheels because the suspension has been changed. So you will remember, in a bit of a saga prior on the channel, I had KWs fitted. Well, not a saga actually. I was, you know, that was absolutely fine. Got KWs fitted by the lovely chaps and ladies at RPM. So we've had KW Clubsports put on the car. They are a good damper, but they are absolutely, and in retrospect, I should have probably twigged this before fitting them. They were not what I wanted or needed to this car. I don't do much track work with this car. I'm not a track guy. I'm useless on a track. Various people will vouch for that. So the KW Clubsports have come off, and my main grievance was the fact that the damper button inside, you might know on these cars, there's a little damper button inside with a little logo of suspension. That doesn't work with the dampers that are fitted in there. And that was really annoying me because I do a lot of road driving, and you'll know that UK roads are very, very changeable. Some of them are okay, and then some of them are like the surface of the moon. And having that on-the-fly adjustment is really, really, really key because it's really important the tyres are connected to the floor at all times, as I'm sure you can probably appreciate. So we've had 3 of the 4 new dampers fitted. I have actually been fiddling around in here already, so excuse my grubby hands. They're not usually this grubby. They are usually quite grubby, but not that grubby. So we have got the old shock. The old KW is at the back here. That is the last remaining on the car. That is what's coming off. The purple and yellow KW colours, they're coming off. They are coming off, and you'll see as well, they've also got purple top mounts. That's coming off as well, and we're putting on the standard Porsche top mounts. I say we, I am not trusted with any tools whatsoever or doing anything requiring any skill. My only job is to walk around waffling, which I am doing my best at. So that is now going to be changing as well as obviously the entire damper. And a change you'll see as well, the dampers going on do not have a reservoir, so we'll go and look at those now. Work is in progress, as you can see. So over here then, we've actually got 3 sets of dampers to get through. It's a very damper filled video, ladies and gents. It's going to get very technical. So this is the brand new set by Tractive. Amazing, amazing kit. Patented technology. Very clever stuff. We're going to get Steve from 6.4 to come and talk about that, and he's the UK distributor for Tractive. Knows what he's doing. He's a very smart bloke, and he's going to talk us through what is actually going into the car. This is what's coming out. This is obviously the rear shock from the other side, and this is the standard set. This is a 15-year-old set of OEM dampers from Porsche. Again, not bad kit. Porsche don't put crap on their cars, but that is 15-year-old, well, probably best part of 20-year-old technology in that damper. And then on this side here, we have got standard OEM Porsche front shock there, and then we've got the 2 KW shocks as well. So you'll notice they have, again, a reservoir on them, which the Tractive set don't have, and we'll go into why with Steve. But we've got click, click, click on the fly adjustment there. That is not my jam. That is not where I want to be with things. Great if you like that sort of thing, but that is not a bit of me. I like a plug and play me. I like an OEM Plus upgrade. So they have come off, and they are the top mounts as well. They, as I've said, have come off, and we've got standard Porsche top mounts going on, and these are just shims for the front shocks. We've got the new Tractive damper in here. Very, very light springs, as you can see. 40 on here, and I think it's 80 maybe, or maybe 110 actually on the back. Very light springs, and they are in there. And also, just the weirdo in me appreciates the fact they are now color coordinated. Not why I did it, not why I did it, but they do look very nice. And as you can see, Porsche top mounts. Around the back of the car then, on this side, this is now fitted as well. We've got the Tractive damper fitted here too. Again, I do like the fact that it's color coordinated. You can't really see them in there, but very nice job. Again, OEM top mounts. Lovely stuff. They're absolutely wonderful. We're going to go and find Steve then from 6'4", who is the guy and are the guys that bring Tractive into the country and supply them to wonderful places like Auto Farm and varying other places. But I must say, very impressed with the guys here. Absolutely smashed it. And what they don't know about this sort of stuff isn't worth knowing. As if by magic then, ladies and gents, we've got Steve here. Hello, Steve. How you doing? I would spud you, but I'm covered in filth. You probably are now as well after touching. Yeah, fantastic. So this is the Tractive damper, the shock. Damper, shock, what's the best terminology?
Damper, shock, doesn't matter.
Good, perfect. I've used it.
Pointing out there, look.
There we go. We've got the branding in there. So, you're from 6'4". You are the distributor for these amazing shocks, dampers. And you've actually driven here in your car, which we're going to go and look at in a second. Okay. You've got a 997.1 GT3?
Clubsport.
Clubsport. There we go. So, you've actually got a slightly different setup on yours, which we'll go into. Talk us through it then, because I've not done the best job of explaining exactly why I've gone for these, because it was about a 6-month period of research looking into the varying options on this, and there are options out there, but I've arrived at Tractive. We've had many, many conversations over the months, and I think we may well potentially look at some other stuff together as well, if you're not already sick of me. So talk us through it then. What's going on? So
this is Tractive's semi-active electronic damper. So obviously most of the dampers that you had on your car, the KWs were passive mechanical dampers.
Yep.
These are semi-active electronical dampers. So you have a cable coming out the top. It's got the original, so your original dampers, your PASM dampers,
yep,
have the same Bilstein connector. Inside the shim stack at the top of the damper is a DDA valve, dynamic damping adjustment valve. And it acts like an electronic solenoid. So depending on the ampage, depending on the G force, so you can actually control the G force in the corners.
Wow.
Under braking and under acceleration, so pitch.
Wow.
In 6 to 10 milliseconds. It's the fastest semi-active damper in the world.
Christ.
So you react to something in about 150 and 170 milliseconds. So before you react to it, you hit a compression in a corner.
Yep.
And before you can react to it, the damper's already done it for you. So
wow.
Rather than sort of pitch you on the other side of the road, it will make the correction. It will firm up the outside 2 dampers, soften the inside 2 dampers, and allow you to get maximum grip and keep your concentration on the road.
And that's incredible, and it's definitely worth noting the fact that obviously Porsche know what they're doing with these cars, but the suspension for this car was probably developed the best part of 20 years ago, because it was probably the dampers from the Gen 1 car, and they're about 20 years old now. So actually, you know, I'm not always the biggest fan of modifying stuff, but actually you're getting sort of 2025, 2026 levels of technology now into a car like this that works seamlessly as OEM with the OEM damper button, which is exactly what I'm after.
Well, Porsche are just doing it with the 992, aren't they? They're doing adjustment on the steering wheel for rebound and compression. Tractive have been doing it since 2010.
Wow.
So, yeah, they could have gone down the route of doing mechanical dampers. They do a 1-way and a 3-way damper.
Yeah. But
this is what their specialty is. Initially, they were motorcycle dampers. So they were in MotoGP, Valentino Rossi. They do adventure bikes. But then they got involved in automotive.
Okay.
So I've helped them develop the Porsche damper range from 2017.
Wow.
I think I was the first person in Europe to fit a kit, one of the very early kits to a Porsche 964 in 2017.
Crikey.
And it was revolutionary. It was just such a massive upgrade over something like Bilstein's and IBAC lowering springs, or H&R lowering springs, which is the normal setup on a 964. I could drive at crazy speeds down A and B roads with GT cars, and be fully comfortable and confident knowing exactly what the car was going to do. And I just thought it was something that was missing in the UK.
Yeah.
Tractive are really good at developing products, but then they weren't really good at promoting their products.
No.
They're a load of race technicians, and they love what they do, really passionate about what they do. So I came on board and spoke to the owners, Tom and Rob, and said, look, I really would love the opportunity to get it marketed and bring it as an alternative to Öhlins, Bilstein, KW in the UK. So it's taken a while, but I think we've got some impetus now in the market. People are turning to Tractive because with the state of our roads in the UK, we need something which gives you compliance and comfort as well as control on our roads. and puts the joy back into driving, because at the moment it's pretty miserable out there, isn't it?
Certainly is, and as I said, my predominant use case of this car is road use, and I have some of my audience gripe at that. But no, really, really interesting, and it's a nice bit of kit, and I like the way you've colour coordinated it for me as well. I know you definitely didn't do that on purpose.
So we can run quite light springs on this car. We're running 40 Newton meter. Let me turn it around. You can see the IBAC mainspring there. So we're running 110 on the rear, only 40 on the front.
Yeah, I pointed that earlier. What does that actually mean then? Because I noted they were light springs and there's 40 at the front, 110 on the rear, but what does that actually mean?
So that's the spring rate. So that basically controls the recoil of the damper.
Yep.
Point worth making is we run Brumos Racing run a 991 RSR. I think it was a GT2 RSR in Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
The Yokohama Time Challenge. And they, it's David Donahue driving, and he elected to take the anti-roll bars off the car, or sway bars in America.
Right.
So the dampers have that much control that we've actually taken the anti-roll bars off a 991 RS, GT2 RS, because he felt it gave him more compliance and control. So the dampers are in full control of what the car chassis is doing. So, I mean, we even put these on Defenders. I do a lot of work with Defenders. I mean, crazy Defenders, LS3 engines. 680 brake horsepower, 880 Newton meter Defender 90s. And you can turn a 2-ton tractor into a sports car. Yeah. With these dampers.
So it works on that.
It's very clever technology. Very clever technology.
Amazing. And obviously there's patents and whatnot in there, which you can't talk about too much, but very, very clever stuff. Okay, fantastic. I am looking forward to these being fitted on the car and then going for a drive, which I will do at some point. But should we go and see your car very quickly? Because you've got a different setup on yours, haven't you?
I have.
You have. Let's go and check it out then. I was going to say lob that on the floor, but maybe don't lob it.
No, I'll put it on the bench.
Okay, Steve, we're outside with your car. Talk me through it then. We're going to get onto the dampers in a second, of course, but I actually just want to speak to you about this because I love 997s. I've made no secret of that. And this, I think, is perfect 911. 997.1 GT3. It doesn't really get any better than this. It doesn't. And they're still a steal. They're still an absolute steal. I mean, you've had this for how long? Okay, so you got it at a really good price, or COVID buy.
I sold a 964 C2 rare factory non-sunroof. Ooh. Which I did a lot. Had tractive development car. Better brakes, better suspension. Beautifully fabricated 964 Raceworks exhaust system that we fabricate here in Bicester. So I had a lot done to it. It's an incredible driver's car. I sold it for 88,888, and I bought this for 82.
Wow!
So it gave me a little bit of money to
fiddle
with it. Yeah,
okay,
do some nice stuff on it.
Speaking of fiddling, then,
yes,
talk us through it, and then we're going to poke the camera in here.
Yeah, so obviously, being a factory club sport, you've got the Carrera GT seats, carbon back Carrera GT seats, which are absolutely gorgeous.
They are worth a fortune.
Yeah,
they're worth an absolute fortune. 20 grand for those seats, I reckon.
Factory don't make them anymore.
No.
So they were originally from the factory with Perlon. Flame retardant Perlon. I've done them in black Napa leather with a Porsche crest. Not a lot of people know this, but the actual GT Porsche crests are actually smaller than the earlier cars. So
really?
The Porsche crest, it's small.
There we go.
And the earlier cars, they're actually much bigger. And then I've got the Pepita Houndstooth 50th anniversary silver and black.
Nice.
Which Classic FX did.
Yeah, I know the guys there. Great bunch.
Dave at Auto Trim, is it? The guys that did the leather.
Dave the Trimmer. There we go. I was going to say D-Class, but that's a different bunch.
No, Dave the Trimmer.
Dave the Trimmer.
Obviously, it's got the rear roll cage. I've had the steering wheel, handbrake, and gear stick all retrimmed in Alcantara. I've got the 996 Carrera race steering wheel.
Yeah.
The dish one with the Porsche on this, but I've gone back to the original.
Yeah,
I just think it's a nice wheel.
Yeah, the OG wheel.
Yeah.
I think mine's slightly different actually. I think they changed it from the Gen 1 to the Gen 2 potentially.
So normally it's like a rubberized center channel there, center console. I've had it done in this is basalt metallic.
Yeah, nice.
So I've had it done in the colour, and
Not
it's also
around.
got a PCCM Plus.
I love that unit.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely great.
Can't get it on the Point 2 at the moment.
No.
So I've had to get an aftermarket NM automotive software upgrade, which works okay, but that unit in there is much better.
Great, because you've got the buttons that take you straight to it. I had a Pioneer unit in there that was just everything on the screen. You had to go through all these different menus.
Crap.
Pain in the arse.
Yeah. That's a great solution. I had it on my 997 Turbo, which I miss. Very nice car. And if someone wants to sort their suspension out, do they contact you directly? Do they come to Auto Farm and go, That's what I want.
They could go either way. So if it's a customer of Autofarm, they can come directly to Autofarm.
Yep.
Steve or Mikey would contact me and say, we've got a customer that wants such and such.
Yep.
And I'll hook them up. It's not a problem. Or we've got a website, which is www.64sixfour.co.uk. And they've got MCS and Tractive on the website.
Cool.
Any questions, they can contact me and I'll talk them through it. What I would say is if somebody is regularly track day in their car, I would probably recommend the MCS over Tractive. If it's a road car with occasional track use, I would always go Tractive.
Fine, and that's exactly where I am. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, much appreciated. I'll give you a little elbow bump there, because I'm covered in mud. I mean, I got you beat there.
Don't worry about it.
There we go. Grubby handshake. Perfect. Right, we're going to leave things there then. I'm going to jump back in the Defender. I've actually collected it from Porsche GB. It was marinating in their visitors car park for a little while. I say marinating. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just disgusting. I actually shouldn't be showing you that because you'll think even less of me. But we're back in the Defender. I don't know when this video is going out. I don't know whether or not it has been Christmas by the time this video goes out. It probably will have been Christmas by then. If so, hope you had a good one if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, ignore me. Don't take offence. I don't know. I don't know what we say these days. Thank you very much. Do subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And a big shout out to Tractive, making amazing products. And there will be a first drive video coming, hopefully with Steve's GT3 as well. I want to go for a little razz in that. I'll see you all very soon. Ciao for now. Bye.